If there are enough natural resources, a wildlife population will increase unless some limiting factor takes place.
Don, what's a limiting factor?
I'm glad you asked that. Limiting factors take place naturally. Weather is a very important limiting factor. The elk you see here in July have to move for the winter because the food supply is covered by up to 4 feet of snow. They must migrate to lower elevations or wind-blown areas where food is available. Other natural limiting factors would be fire, floods, drought, or an untimely snowstorm in the spring just as the calves are being born. Some animals die from exposure to the cold and illness. The stronger ones survive. People create limiting factors too, like clearing land for houses, highways and roads, putting in fences that prevent access to food and water, air pollution, or draining swamps and marshlands are just a few examples. People may not want too many of an animal species either. For example, deer can become so numerous that there's not enough food for all of them, especially during the winter. Deer may also damage property by eating corn or fruit trees because there's not enough vegetation for them to eat. The search for food may also cause many car-deer accidents. Harvesting an annual surplus of wildlife is an important part of wildlife management. Wildlife is a renewable resource. Let me explain. Living things tend to produce more themselves than their habitat can support, a natural process in keeping their species alive. This is especially true of animals that are low on the food chain. They tend to be prey for larger animals. One example is the Uinta ground squirrel. Another is the snowshoe hare. Of a litter of 5 hares, only one may make it to its next birthday. Be glad you're not a baby hare. Of the thousands of frog eggs that are laid, only a handful actually become frogs. The next time you see a grown-up frog, you'll probably have more respect for that hardy little amphibian. Ribbit. People have a far greater ability to adjust to the environment than wildlife species do. That is why we have the responsibility to consider the effects of our activities on other life forms. Since we are usually at the top of the food chain, we need to manage the rest of the chain. We are the stewards of the chain.